Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing the breakdown video for Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. That is finally happening on Saturday, February 19th. I believe the Zone's going to be picking that fight up. And, I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't know, to be honest. It's still a mixed bag for me because this fight is happening way too late and neither guy is really relevant anymore. The last time either one of them was in a high profile match that mattered was first Amir Khan competed, I'm pretty sure it was against Terrence Crawford like 2.5 years ago. I want to say in May of 2019 he fought Crawford and didn't do much, and then got stopped after 6 rounds. And then Kell Brook was also against Terrence Crawford, and that was actually on my wedding day, November 14th of 2020, and Crawford got Brook out of there in 4 rounds. So, again, neither guy is relevant anymore in their respective divisions, and I don't know. Like I said, when I did the Is On video, I wasn't sure how many real boxing fans care about this matchup. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like and respect both fighters. I always did. But I really, excuse me, sorry about that. I really don't know, what the relevance of this fight is going to have. But hey, there's 2 rivals trying to get it on, wanting to compete against each other, and obviously it's a big enough fight, so hopefully you guys are interested. So I'm going to do my breakdown video like I normally do. Ask the questions on both sides, starting with the favorite to the underdog. And, just see, and we'll start with, honestly, I don't know who the favorite is heading into this fight. If it were me, from a pure boxing, perspective, I would think Kell Brook is the favorite coming in. But Amir Khan's got the name, the bigger name, so I'm going to start with him on this one. And, we look at what he's done rolling into this fight, and again, nothing. To be honest, I might be wrong about this, but I want to say the last time that Khan was even in a fight was against Terrence Crawford in 2019, and he got his ass whipped in that fight, And for me, all this time off, he's finally coming back to take on Kell Brook, and he just better be in shape and be ready to go. I just don't know. It's unknown how much this guy actually has in the gas tank, how much he actually has to compete in this fight. We just don't know. So on to the next question. Can he win this fight by knockout? And I don't believe so. Khan was never really a knockout fighter. Now, we don't know what either guy, what their stamina is going to look like. But, so maybe Khan could wear Brook down, and stop him in the late rounds. But Khan, not a big knockout puncher, and I don't see him knocking Kell Brook out. So I'm gonna lean towards the no. Can Khan win a decision? Well, at their best, Khan was probably the faster fighter, absolutely, and arguably the better boxer. So, if Khan is going to win, which I do think he has a chance, we just don't know what Khan we're going to get. I believe if he's going to win, it probably would be by decision. Now, what does this fight mean for Amir Khan? Well, it could mean a couple things. If, in terms of his career and his legacy, it's not really going to mean much, to beat Kell Brook now, of all times. It's going to mean more for him personally, which, hey, that's a good thing. It's going to mean something to the United Kingdom because those fans probably care more about this fight than anybody else. But, hey, it could mean a lot if Khan is starting a last run in boxing to try to, cement his legacy, so to speak. So this one, it could matter in terms of that. Khan, that could matter a lot to him to kind of start his last run and to beat a rival like Kell Brook. It could keep his career going for a while. For at least one more fight. Now, let's switch over to the former welterweight champion, Kell Brook. Rolling into this fight, he's the same thing as Khan. He hasn't done anything since but it was just a little bit sooner. He hasn't done anything since a 4th round TKO loss to Terrence Bud Crawford for the WBO title in November of 2020. And, he looked competitive in the first round and a half, but then Crawford just figured him out quick, hurt him, and busted him up and stopped him. So, we really didn't see much out of Kell Brook, to determine if Kell Brook has what it takes to compete still, even against a Khan who hasn't fought in 3 years. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of fighter he comes in as. I know Kell Brook, in terms of name recognition, would technically be the quote-unquote underdog. So maybe, he needs to have his head focused and ready to go because he's facing a rival, But that's, I just, again, another one, I hope he's just not taking this fight lightly, and I don't think he is. I think if there's a hungrier fighter of these two, it's Kell Brook. Now, can Kell Brook win the fight by knockout? And I think absolutely yes. It just depends on if he can land the right punch. Brook packs, in my opinion, he packs a more powerful punch for sure at 147 to 154 in that weight range. And I think, Khan definitely had the lesser of the two chins. So I think if Brook were to catch Amir Khan, he could definitely stop him. Can Kell Brook win a decision? Yeah, I think he can. Stylistically, at their best, I think Khan was probably a little bit better of a boxer. But, with Kell Brook having the power advantage and stuff, and Kell Brook not being a bad boxer himself, I think he could definitely win by a decision. But, it might be tougher because Khan is quick and can box very well. So it's going to be interesting to see their style matchup and who gets the advantage, and if it goes to the scorecards, who can win. But I think Kell Brook can pull off a decision. Now, what does this fight mean for Kell Brook if he wins? It means a lot to Kell Brook for his personal legacy, because it's a fight that he's always been the B-side in terms of name recognition, and it's a fight he's always wanted. So for him to land this fight finally and to beat an Amir Khan would mean a lot for him. Now, again, like Khan, though, it's not going to mean a lot in terms of the welterweight division, but it could start Kell Brook on a last run at making more money and setting up a potential title shot down the road, getting back into the mix, so to speak. So, it definitely could matter, that this started his kind of final run towards something. But and it definitely would not cement his legacy, but it would definitely be a good ending to a solid career for Kell Brook. Now, what does it mean if Kell Brook loses this fight? Just personally, it's gonna hurt him because he wants to beat Amir Khan. And for Khan, I didn't ask that question. What does it mean for him? Either way, it's gonna hurt these guys. But I don't think either way anybody's gonna be surprised at who loses this fight. I don't think. Again, I don't know how much this fight is cared about worldwide. So, because the relevance, it doesn't matter much. So I just don't think it's going to be one of those fights where you'd be like, oh yeah, remember when Brook beat Khan or Khan beat Brook? That was a big deal. It's really not a big deal type of fight. It's more just a personal rivalry that we're looking at here. So personally, it's going to hurt both of them to lose to the other guy, but professionally and legacy-wise, I don't think it's really going to matter to either career. And, now, so is it better for boxing if Amir Khan wins or if Kell Brook wins this fight? To be honest, Khan's got the bigger name, so it's probably better for boxing if Khan wins this fight, to be honest, because he's got the bigger name. People would like to see Khan in the ring with somebody, even if he's the stepping stone guy, they'd like to see him in the ring more than Kell Brook, just because Khan is better known. He's given us more memories from earlier on in his career when he was a dominant fighter, a very competitive and dominant fighter. So I think at this stage, it's probably better for Khan if he wins, for boxing if Khan wins, but I don't think it's going to hurt boxing either way, depending on who wins. And I think it's, you know, it's not bad for boxing if Kell Brook wins. So that's the way I see that. But now my final prediction, who do I think is going to win this fight between Kell Brook and Amir Khan? And I'm going to go with Kell Brook, just because he's competed at a higher level more recently. And that's not saying much, because in terms of a title fight, it was Terrence Crawford. But a competitive title fight, it was 2017, 5 years ago, against Errol Spence. So it's not like this guy's been in, but Amir Khan hasn't been in a competitive fight in a long time, you know, and he's been out of the ring longer than Kell Brook. So I got to give the advantage to Kell Brook here. Also, the punching power. I think if Kell Brook catches Amir Khan, you know, it could be all she wrote. I don't think it's going to be the same story if Khan were to catch Brook, because Khan doesn't hit as hard, in my opinion. So, you know, I got to give the advantage to Kell Brook at some point, because of how long they were out of the ring and because of his punching power. I think he's going to catch Amir Khan at some point and stop him in the middle of the later rounds. But really, I wouldn't be surprised at any result in this fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Khan were to win the fight by a decision. I wouldn't be surprised if Khan were to blow him out by a decision. I wouldn't be surprised if Khan were to hurt Kell Brook and stop him. You just don't know what you're going to get, because these guys really haven't competed on a high level in such a long time. So we really don't know what we're going to get on February 19th on DAZN. I just hope it ends up being a good fight, and maybe sparks one or both of them, if it's close, to pursue their career longer, because I always like both guys. So we'll see. But that's what I got. That's the breakdown for Amir Khan versus Kell Brook that takes place Saturday, February 19th on DAZN. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.